Hey guys, welcome back to B8N Tackle. I'm your host Joe Frank, and today I've got a cool episode. We are going to talk about, you know that line that everybody says, go big or go home? Well, I took my Underspin and I sent it off to my buddy Bob at CNC Molds and Stuff, and he made me a 1 ounce and a 3/4 ounce version of the Underspin. That's what we're going to be looking at today. So this takes a 6/0 hook, or I'm sorry, a 7/0 hook for the 3/4 inch, or for the 3/4 ounce, and it also takes a 8/0 hook for the 1 ounce. So these are some pretty big, underspins. And I'm going to bring you down here to the bench so we can take a look at the mold a little closer, and I can show you the components that we have. This is another one of those where I had to send off for some wire forms to be made from Mustang wire, and did an excellent job. It's basically the same wire form as the last ones, the smaller ones that I used for the Underspin part, except I just made them a little bit longer. So let's get you down to the bench so you can check this stuff out, guys. So let's show you this mold. Pretty slick. Bob always outdoes himself as usual. Again, 2 1 ounce cavities, 2 3 ounce cavities. These take a 8/0 hook for the 1 ounce. So I'm going to put those, well, actually we got to do something else before we put the hooks in. Let me show you where I get the hooks from. Barlow's, of course. They have the 8/0s. The 7/0s are a little bit harder to find. They may have them back in stock, but last time I looked they didn't have them in stock, but I did get some from them finally. So there's your 7/0 too. So this is as big as this style hook goes up to, is an 8/0. Okay, so we're using 8/0 hooks, 7/0 hooks, both from Barlow's. These are Gamakatsu's, the 604s. I'm also using a VMC screw lock, and the interesting thing is these screw locks have a little center punch in them in the beginning, and what I'm doing is I'm actually removing some of the parts from this screw lock. So you see this part right here that's up at the top, that's what actually you put on your hook, right? Well, I'm cutting that off, so it's a nice little just rounded shape on the top. Then the bottom has a center punch, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that off over by the side, where then that way it's a complete corkscrew like what I would expect it to be. So I've got to modify those every time I'm doing them in the mold. So I've done 1, I've got done 2. I'm just going to real quick go ahead and do these on camera so you guys can see. But I found these, and I was experimenting, playing around with some of the screw locks that they had. And this may be more of a bait keeper for swim bait hooks and stuff like that. So again, just cutting off that center punch thing and then cutting that off so it's a little bit smaller. So that's what I need to do for this mold. Pretty quick, pretty slick. So I'm going to show you here. We just go ahead and we take the hook, put it through the screw lock, just like that, and then we put it in the mold. There's a cavity right here for that, and I'll try to zoom in the video when I actually do it. But there's a little line there that it goes through so that it goes up into the cavity nice and smooth. So again, we're going to do the same thing on this next one. Same deal. And then the same thing for the 3/4 ounce, but just a 7/0 hook instead of a 8/0. Okay. And I like to push those up as far as I can, so that way that hook's in there real good. Same thing, 7/0 with a screw lock. Now, this is the wire form that I had made by my buddy Mark at Mustang Wire. Okay, so it's just a little bit longer than the first version that I made, and you can go back and look at one of my old videos when I show you the other underspins. It's the same wire form, except this one's just longer, right? Because obviously we're doing bigger. So nice little cavities, they drop in there. Again, Bob did a great job with design, layout. All you got to do is tell Bob what you want and he'll make it happen. It helps if you know exactly what you want though, because obviously he can't read minds. So, alright, so we're good there. I've got all of my screw locks in place. I've got all of my underspin wires in there. I'm just pushing those corkscrews up just to make sure that they get in there and properly seat. Okay, now I just need to make sure that everything is lined up correctly, which something is not. One of the wire forms moved. I just got to fix that real quick, make sure it's the right way. Although on camera, apparently I can't do it, so it keeps wanting to flip around on me. Okay, and they're nice and snug. Something's messed up here. There it goes. Drops down in there. Perfect. Screw it tight. Just hand tight, because this is going to get warm when we put it in the put the lead on. So I've got the lead warming up. Once we get the lead warmed up, we'll pour a couple of these, and then I'm going to pour a couple more so we can actually do some cool paint schemes. We're going to do some painting today, just so I can show you guys. Maybe do something different. Maybe do some paints. Maybe throw in a little bit of the 8-bit products, maybe some of their Holoshift powders or something like that into some of these. We'll see what we can do. So we have 4 of them done. I have the other 4 done here. I'm just going to do 8, so 4 of each. But I just wanted to show you guys what these look like in the mold. Nice and clean. Lead pours. Of course, one had to go on the other side. That's always the way it works. There we go. Nice and clean. 2 1-ouncers with 8/0 hooks, 2 3/4 with 7/0 hooks. So we're going to go ahead and take these out. I'm going to show you what I do to clean these up, which I'm sure you've seen if you've seen a previous video. Put the mold off to the side here. Get you guys a good picture here so I can show you what I'm doing. Got my little lead pot thing here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the sprues off right at the nose, just like that. If there's any other extras around the hook or anything like that, no, there is not. Beautiful. Now, one other thing we like to do is take a file, and I like to set it right here on this cup, so then that way I don't have to, and you guys should be wearing gloves when you do this. I'm so used to it now that I probably should be wearing gloves too. I shouldn't make excuses. But just taking a little bit of that bird end off on the end, okay? Just taking that end off right there, just cleaning it up. So again, we're going to cut the sprues and go ahead and clean up the tip. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do these all real quick. Probably do a speed lapse, speed this up, and that way we can get on with the video. Now that I've got you guys back, I want to just go over a couple little things. So when you have a mold made like this from a guy that's well seasoned doing these molds, he's very good at what he does. The one thing I had him do was, these are specific to each hook size, so you can't get them mixed up. You can't put a 7 in that and an 8 in that, right? You can see the difference in the hook eye. So I made sure that was going to be the way it was going to be. So 8/0 is specifically for the 1-ounce, and 7/0 is specifically for the 3/4. So he does a very, very good job, precision work to get them into the right spots that they need to be in. All right, now I need to go pick out some paint colors. So typically I would use my fluid bed for this, but in this case we're using all new paints that I got recently. We're going to do we're going to do 2 of these in perch, 1 of each size, 2 in purple smoke, and then we're going to do some disco fire tiger, and then we're going to do some blue fleck. And just as a little added bonus, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some Hypershift powder or Holoshift powder. We're going to do some different ones here. Probably Crown Royale, Royale with cheese, maybe a little blue tint. The Sonic we'll do to the blue fleck. Let's try those 3. So, got these little sample containers. We're going to do some Sonic on the blue fleck. We're going to do some Royal with cheese on the purple smoke. We're going to do some Crown Royal on the perch. And then let me pick out one more to go with the disco. And I think I know which one. We're going to use Hyrule. Okay, and I think this is the first time I've showed it on the channel is Hyrule. So we're going to do that on the disco fire tiger. Okay, and the way we're going to do this is I'm going to probably take some of this blue fleck and I'm going to put it into a container. And what I'm going to do is mix it with the Sonic. I'm going to heat this up real good. And I think what we'll do is we'll dip it first. So we'll dip it in the container, and I'll shake it up real good and make sure it's nice and fluffy. We'll dip it in the container once, right? And then once we get done dipping it in the container, we will take some of the blue fleck and some of the Holoshift, and we'll mix it in a cup. I'm just getting my tray ready to hang these on, so when we're done I can bake them. So let me get some small cups, some small tiny cups that I know I've got here somewhere. Here they are. And we need 4, and then I'm going to use some little popsicle sticks, which I just dumped all over the place, which was awesome. All right, so got a couple popsicle sticks here. Oh, I only got 3. I need to get one more. And I've got some little cups here. So we're gonna put a little bit of each in there, and then we're gonna brush it. We're gonna tap brush it on to the bait. So I'm gonna got a paintbrush there to tap brush. I get one more of these wonderful popsicle sticks I decided to dump everywhere. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's take the blue fleck first. Put these off the camera. Let's take the blue fleck first. And I'm going to, this is the first time I've used this paint, so this is going to be cool. I'm going to take a scoop. And then I'm going to take a tiny scoop of Sonic, because it really does not take much to give it this highlight. I'm going to do that much, okay? Just a tiny bit. Okay, so I'm going to put blue Sonic back. This container. Again, be very careful when you're playing with Holoshift powder and even epoxy powder paint. When it gets airborne, it's probably not good for you to breathe in, I'm sure. So I just took a little bit of that, brushed it in there, or not brushed it in, but mixed it in with the stick. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I've got this blue fleck paint. I am going to, let me see if I can zoom out here. Yeah, I can. Okay. So I'm going to zoom out here a little bit so you can see more of the bench. I got my blue fleck here. I'm going to shake it up real good. I'll turn my heat on. Okay. Trying to move some stuff around here. Pay attention to any of that crap. Okay, I got my heat gun on, ready to go. I need my forceps here. I'm gonna grab one of the big ones first. Okay, and I'm going to heat it up. Now this is a lot of lead. 1 ounce weight is a lot. So what I'm gonna do is heat it up what I think is gonna be warm enough Got my heat gun on high. This is an old heat gun that I've used for a really long time, and I don't plan on getting a different one to replace this until it dies, because this heat gun is amazing. Okay, I've got my blue fleck ready to go. Oh, until I drop that. It's a little heavy to get back on the forceps. I'm gonna probably put my arm in here. You guys can't even see the heat gun anyway. Let's see if I can get you tilted up. There we go. Okay. So heat gun's over here. Heating these up again real quick. Gonna unscrew the top on my blue fleck. It is very fluffy. And I'm gonna dip it in. Now with these, you just want to dip it in enough to where the head gets covered. Tap off the rest. Okay, there you go. Nice paint job, like it. So a little lighter on the back, a little bit heavier on the front, but that's okay. Hook eye is pretty clean, so we don't have to worry about that. Now I'm going to take some of this blue fleck with the Holoshift, and I'm going to heat this back up a little bit, and I'm going to concentrate on the back halves because I want to put the sonic portion on the back where it's a little bit lighter. So I'm just going to heat this up again real quick. I'm going to get some of this on my paintbrush, and I'm going to tap it over top. Of that cup. And I can already see the highlight coming out in that bait. So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm just adding a little bit more paint, but I'm getting the Holoshift powder in there as well. So let me heat this up and I'll show you what we got here. I'm not sure what this is going to look like on camera, but we'll see. Alright, I'm going to take you out of zoom mode so we can see this head real good. See how it kind of made it purple back there? So like if I go like this, you can barely see it, but then if I go like this, see that purple shine? That blue shine? That's the sonic. Awesome. Love it. So that's what I want to do to these baits. I want them to be like a transitional bait where they're the regular color up front, and then I'm going to have the highlight powder towards the back. And that covered very nicely. And I can still see the design in the back part of the bait. It looks freaking incredible. That's awesome. Okay, so there's one. We're going to go ahead. These baits are so long with these hooks. I'm gonna have to figure out a different way to hang these, and I've got just the thing. I've got these stand-up jig holders from TJ's Tackle, and we're gonna go ahead and push that guy into that, and we're just gonna bake those in there like that, because my rack is not tall enough. My rack's not tall enough for these baits. They're too long and they want to hit the bottom. Smaller ones, maybe. Let's see. Let's actually try it real quick. Nope, it is that too. So we're going to go ahead and do these. And I've got 2 of those racks, so we're not going to use the regular rack I use. We're going to use 2 of the stand-up racks, which I've got right here. And we'll just separate the sizes out. Okay? So now, let's go ahead and do this. And I'm not going to talk, and we're just going to paint it real quick and speed up through the video. Alright, we're going to mix in the next color. So I'm going to go ahead and set this off to the side, blue fleck. and the cap that or the little cup that we used to make this other one. I'm just going to get this stuff out of the way. Okay. I'll get a new stick. Put that over there to the Sonic. Now we're going to do the Disco Fire Tiger. And again, shake this up real good. We're going to grab some of this with our new popsicle stick. Drop some in the bottom there. Put the cap back on that because we're going to shake this up again. Okay, so that's ready for paint. We're going to go ahead and open up our Hyrule. It's got our protective cap on. We're going to take a little bit of that Hyrule and we're going to drop it in there. And then we're going to mix that up real good. Yeah, I like doing these Holoshift powders into the powder paints. Really gives it a really good effect. And I've actually had my wife using resin. She's making some resin art projects and doing some of those too. All right, so let's get one of our big ones on here. Same process. So I'm just going to be quiet and we're going to speed this up. Alright, so this one, because of all the glitter that's in these, you can't really see the shift come up. So what I'm going to try to do to see if I can bring it out is put a little clear coat on this. Just see if this works. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm trying to get all the glitter out of this brush. We're going to try heating it up and putting some clear coat on. That may brighten this up. So just don't ignore me for a second here. I'm actually just putting some clear on there. I don't know if this is going to make any bit of a difference because, again, it's just a lot of glitter. So that one kind of failed as far as using the Holoshift on it. Yeah, there's just too much going on there. So again, too much going on, not really, maybe you can see a little bit of it there in the back, but not great. So I would recommend not using the Holoshifts on the very thick glittered type epoxy powder paints. So let's get this over to the rack here, which I can't put down in there with my fingers because number one, this jig is hot, and number two, this thing is very tight. Okay, so this next one, which is one of the smaller ones, I'm just going to go ahead and do the Disco Fire Tiger just as the paint. Okay, so let me zoom me back out and we'll go back to speed. I am going to go ahead and try. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and clear coat it, because the clear does help with the color, but it really doesn't help to bring out the Holoshift. And I'll actually compare them at the end just to see what it comes out like. But I'm just going to put some clear on there and call that a day. Okay, so pretty cool. Pretty cool. Really cool color. Orange, black, and green flake. Very neat. So we'll compare this one with the other one when they get done baking. All right, on to the next color. So let's go ahead and do purple smoke. Purple smoke. I'm gonna shake it up real good. And this one I've done before. It's a very clear color. So really all it is kind of some clear coat with some very, very small purple flake, I believe, if I remember right. We're going to use the Royale with cheese. I don't know if we've used this one or not. I may not have used this one, or I just put the protective cap back in there. I may not have used this one. But with the purple on it, it's very fitting. So again, take a very small amount of that, and a little bit of this Holoshift powder goes a long way, guys. A long way. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mix that up. You can definitely see it taking shape a little bit. It definitely changed it from clear coat to clear coat, you know, with some more stuff in it. So we'll see how this goes. This one I've got a funny feeling this is going to work really well. So let me mix this back up again. That one's ready. Open it up. Get you guys back out to the big view. These forceps don't do a great job holding these jigs in place, I'll tell you. They want to slide out of there really fast, especially when I got it this direction, up and down. But for what I'm doing, this shouldn't be too bad. I don't want to heat this up too much, because this powder paint, it does get a little thick when you get down in there. But again, this is also, I want a thin base of this on there, because this color, there's not much color. Like I said, it's a clear coat. So let me heat it up real quick and I'll show you. It really is just it's like clear with purple flake is what it is. So this one I may end up putting a lot more of the Holoshift on there. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you dip it. Okay, so it's just still see a lot of that silver from the lead through the paint. It's, like I said, it's a lot of clear coat. There's some flake in there, not a ton, a little bit on the tip there. So what we're going to do is heat this back up. We've got our purple smoke with our Royale with cheese. Heat this up real good. And we're going to start applying it over the cup. Maybe a lot more there. And I like how the purple actually concentrated towards the front of the bait, the actual flake. So this might work out in my favor, because I'm trying to stick the Holoshift towards the back part of the bait. Get some more here. Get some more here. put a little bit more up near the front, but I'm going to try to leave the, yeah, that's good. I'm going to try to leave the front as the main color as possible. So let me take you out of zoomed in mode here. Get this heated up real good, so it's nice and blended. Show you what the Royale with cheese looks like mixed with purple smoke. Okay, I kind of turned it a little bit pink, which is kind of cool, but I can definitely see the Holoshift in there now. So if you look at this bait, you can see the lighter color purple in the back, and then towards the front is like a darker purple. That's the purple smoke. So the purple smoke's got that, and then it's got that shift to like purplish pink in the background. Pretty cool. I like that. That worked out really well. So again, a little bit different, unique. But this is what we're doing. We're just experimenting. So we're going to do the same thing here. We did that on one of the big baits. We're going to do the same thing here for one of the small guys. Trying to get this in here without touching the paint too much, but I don't really have a choice. There we go. Okay, so we got those three. Let's do one more of the purple smoke, and we'll do this in speed mode. All right, let's bring you back here. Check that out, guys. Really cool. Definitely did like it's like a pink almost. Really neat. See so much more in there though. There's so much more color in there. That's really cool though. It's got the purple tipped, you know, head, and then kind of goes back to that other one. Really neat. I think that's a really cool color combination. I like that. I think the first one we did is still my favorite, I would say, just because it's really neat how the blue played off of that blue fleck part. There was a little bit of purple in that one too, so pretty interesting. All right, last but not least, and we've made a complete mess, by the way. We got perch, and we're going to do Crown Royale. So here's the perch. Give it a good shake. I don't think I've ever used this one. Don't think so. But let's go ahead, get our popsicle stick here. Do a little bit more. Okay. Now let's go ahead and open up our Crown Royale, which I didn't open up this one yet either. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. I got a funny feeling this one's going to be good. Okay, a little bit goes a long way, like I said. Get a little bit in there. Put that back together. Put that there for now. Get this a stir. And this color is, I don't know, perchy. It's kind of like a little bit orange, I guess. I don't know. Well, we're going to find out when we put a bait in there. This is going to be pretty interesting. I don't know what this is going to come out like, but I'm kind of excited about it because it's something different. So let's go ahead and get our big bait clipped in here, get it heated up. I'll do a speed. All right, let me show you this, guys. It's kind of a light brown orange color, like in the clear coat. Not much, just a little bit. And then it's got green and black flake in it. So that's a really interesting color. So again, I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm going to add our mixed color to the back half. So let me heat it up real quick and bring it back down here. Trying to get you guys so you guys can see this, what I'm looking at here. I guess I can just shift this whole thing over. There we go. All right, so got this heated up a little bit. Go ahead and drop some of this with the Crown Royale on it. I'll see what this thing does. Let's see the magic happen here. I don't know what this is going to do. I don't know how this is going to change the color. But as I'm heating it up, I'm starting to see like some pink in the light that I'm showing it, which is actually pretty freaking cool. So again, the green black. Start changing the side. Shift. Look at that shift. Purple, pink, orange. Can't even tell what's in that color. I have to look up the stuff that my man Michael did for the color changes, but that is really cool. So it's like it's almost like gives it a pink color when it hits the right light into green, black with orange a little bit there. So that's pretty fantastic. I like that color too. Man. Hitting some right things here today. So I've got our 4 colors put together on that one, and I'm going to go ahead and do this last one. And then what I'm going to do is off camera, I'm going to paint these, or bake them like I normally would bake my jigs, my lead jigs. I'm going to bake them for 20 minutes, and then at 350, and then we will come back after they're baked and cooled, and I think I'm going to put some eyeballs on these, and I'm going to put, I think, some B8N Tackle eyes on these. I think that'd be cool. And then I'm also going to made a mess with that, but that's okay. I'm making a mess with everything today. Again, I think I did the same thing where it's real light in the back. Real light in the back. I just had to clear the hook eye. Real light in the back, and then that way I can put my Crown Royal on here. Perfect. Go ahead and heat that up real quick. I can see a lot of color change on that. Almost looks like a dang trout. There's greens and blacks and pinks, and look at that. That's crazy. Just that little bit of Holoshift made that different. Alright, so I may have gotten a little bit thick paint on this one, but that's why we're doing this, also doing this jig stand where they're standing up and not facing down. And I just touched that to the thing, which is really stupid, but hopefully it paints okay. Gotta put my clips in here so it'll stay closed. And I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, bake these. So I'll come back when I get all these painted and baked, and then we will come back. I'll put some eyeballs on them, put some spinners on them with ball bearings and whatnot, and then we will check these things out when they're done. All right, guys, here you go. Here's the finished product. This side is the 7/0 hooks, the 3/4 ounce. This side over here is the 1 ounce. Now, my buddy over at Saddle Tramp Baits sent me a whole bunch of grubs before, and I'm thinking that these grubs could be a pretty sweet trailer. I'm trying to see which one I would like to put on which one of these. Probably do, I guess it really doesn't matter, but the blue I guess we'll do on this purple one. And I'm trying to see if this would, oh yeah, that's gonna fit on there perfect. So if the tail is up like this, we'd run it down to the body like this. So let me show you guys real quick. This is a pretty good size grub. I don't know what size these are. Pretty heavy plastic too, so that's gonna come up about right there. So I'm gonna have to check this out, guys. Look at that. That is a beast of a bait there. And I don't think this underspin is going to impede on the plastic at all or anything. I think this is that's gonna be a killer bait. So anyway, guys, yeah, I just wanted to show you that. I thought that was kind of cool using these trailers. I may do one or two more. I'm not sure yet. Probably going to take up a lot of room on the screen, so maybe I won't. But this orange would be really cool on this green one, so I might do that. Let me do that. How's this, guys? Check this out. Look at that. Look at that monster. That is freaking cool. So I'm going to take some pictures of these, probably post them on Instagram and whatnot after I release this video, but very, very cool baits. Again, go big or go home. So kind of that series. This is kind of my, I guess I could say it's my contribution to the musky world, because I don't make giant baits like that often. I did do some big baits for a gentleman, what's his name? Metalhead Musky Baits. He makes some really, really cool stuff. And I made a whole bunch of different things for him, like some screw locked big jig heads like these. I've actually still got some of these sitting on the table. I made some of these to try to do something with musky, and I think that's 1 ounce or at least 3/4. And there's even bigger one that's a 2 ounce there. So pretty cool. Some stuff I was just working on, but that's just some those are do-it lead molds. But this is mine, and again, can't thank Bob enough. He did a great job on this CNC mold. Awesome. If you're looking for a custom mold, go check him out at CNC Molds and Stuff. Anytime you do a custom mold like this, it's not going to be cheap. So just, don't be sticker shocked by how much it is to get a custom mold made. They're custom, and that's what you pay for. You pay for a custom mold. But these came out great. The colors came out amazing. This one I think bled down a little bit just because I had a little bit too much paint on it. But this one came out really good. You can see that Holoshift now a lot better on the back side after it got done being baked. So look at that. Oh, it's just phenomenal. So cool. So again, shout out to Michael, 8-Bit Baits, Bait Chuckin'. These Holoshift powders are definitely incredible. I mean, you can see the shift in that bottom of that, the back part. That's where I put the Holoshift. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So again, I'll have the links to all these folks that I use their products below. Definitely CNC Molds, definitely 8-Bit Baits for sure. Go get some of those Holoshift powders. Definitely hit up Barlow's. Barlow's is definitely one of the big contributors of my channel. Awesome place to get hooks, to get any kind of products that you need to do any of your lure making stuff. All these Protec powder paints all came from Barlow's. We used Perch today. We used Purple Smoke today. We used Disco Fire Tiger, and we used the Blue Fleck. And I also used 4 different Holoshifts. We used the Crown Royale. We used the Royale with cheese. We used Hyrule, and we used a little bit of Sonic. I'm pretty sure I've done a video on Sonic before, but great Holoshift. So let's wrap this video up, guys. All right, guys, well, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Hope you enjoyed that. And go big or go home. We made the big underspins. My bait and tackle underspins, now in a 3/4 and 1 ounce size. Very cool, great mold. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for anybody else who's contributing this. I do believe that my buddy Saddle Tramp Baits is going to be possibly offering these in the future. I've got to talk to him about make sure the design works good and everything like that. But he may be selling these with his amazing grubs and other products. He's got his swim baits and everything like that too. He makes some really, really cool stuff, especially if you're into musky fishing. He's definitely the guy to go to. Got some really good products. They're his own products, and he's done very, very well. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Killer musky bait here. If anybody is looking or interested in stuff like this, please let me know. I can point you in the right direction. Like I said, Saddle Tramp has got a ton of this stuff. He knows what he's doing. It's funny that he actually kind of started his business by watching a lot of my videos, which I learned recently. I thought that was kind of interesting. So shout out to you, Tom. We still have t-shirts in the Sticker Mule store. If you guys want to bait and tackle t-shirts and whatnot, we have those in the bait and tackle store. Like I said, 25 bucks a piece. They're not too expensive. But go pick yourself up one of those. And like I said, go over to Barlow's, go over to 8-Bit Baits, get some of these awesome products. If you're looking into a custom mold, go see CNC Bob, CNC Molds and Stuff. I think that's going to be wrap it up, guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all watching. As always, remember to keep on baiting.